Can the second speaker for the negative team please come forward?
Woo!
You have 4 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah, it's good.
my name is Zahid Siddiqui, and I'm from Repton, Dubai. I'm the second speaker of the opposing team. The motion that stands before us is that parents should be allowed to implant GPS trackers in their children, and we are strongly against that motion. Here is an outline of my points. I will talk about independence among children and teens, learning from your mistakes, and relationships with your parents or children. But first, I shall give a small rebuttal. You talked about how it is allowed and is not compulsory. Well, generally, if the government or medical authority says to your parents, oh, it's best for your children if they do this, because they wouldn't say it's allowed and demote it, because they would want to promote their thing so they can get more money. They would say, oh, it's best for your children to have this GPS. So the parents would think, oh, I think I should give this to my children. But in fact, they would just do it anyways, just because they think it's best. And the children have no authority over their parents, because if they do not wish to have it, even though the parents say that they must, they are inclined to listen, because they are their parents. They have no authority as to what they say. And now on to my points. Firstly, independence is key. In order to succeed in life, you have to have some form of independence. You can't always rely on your parents to monitor where you are. And seeing as there is no age as to when the GPS should be removed, as your team has failed to mention, the parents are relying on their parent, and so on, and so on. You can't rely on someone forever, for wherever you go, for whatever you do. You have to take priority of your life. You can't forever and ever and ever and ever rely on your parents. There is no age limit which you haven't stated in our motion, or by you, to when the GPS is removed. Secondly, life is a learning process. Life is full of mistakes that you have to make. There's no doubt. It's vital. You learn from the mistakes you make. For example, you go out, you get lost, you don't know where to go. You learn to cope with these situations. If your parents know you're lost, they can just phone you up and say, oh, I think you're lost, you need to take this route. You need to learn to cope with these situations. At school, we do something called Duke of Edinburgh. If you get lost in the desert of the UAE, it's not very fun. My friends did, due to someone's watch changing the compass point. Your parents can see where you're going and may help you and take advantage of this GPS. That is cheating. Duke of Edinburgh goes on to your university application. If you cheat on it, I'm sure that cheating will go on it too. If I was in the Scholars Scavenge and my mum could and I was wearing the GPS, my mum could tell me where I could find a Botox shop to ask where I should get Botox. There, your team has, just like that, your team has failed. And this is because your team has failed to mention an age limit. I'm sure there are some people who are 18 here. They could all cheat on the Scholars Scavenge. You have failed to mention an age limit, and I'm sure if they were given this chip, they would ask their parents to help them. Mistakes have to be made in order to learn about life. If parents are monitoring wherever you go, how do you expect people to learn and prepare for the future? How do you propose they learn? On to my third point.
30 seconds.
If parents are putting this GPS into their children, how are the children going to cope with it? If the parents are telling the children where to go and where they shouldn't go, I am sure it will spark up some family argument and create bad relationships between your family. So to conclude, independence is key to life, and with this GPS, independence cannot be granted. Secondly, you need to learn from your mistakes, as life is a learning process. And thirdly, this GPS can create tension between your family and your parents. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, we, the opposing team, strongly believe that this GPS should not be planted into anyone's head. Thank you very much.